Hi, this is Axel from Thunderbird Daily. Today I will show you how to make answering emails easier with my add-on SmartTemplate. In order to use SmartTemplate, you need to download it from the Addons store. And you click on the Thunderbird menu and add-ons. And to get it, just enter SmartTemplate and return. And here it is, SmartTemplate 4. Install it. And restart. Now the idea of this add-on is that there's certain tasks that we have to do every time when we reply to an email. Like we have to put in the name of the recipient, we might have to put in a signature and various other things. For instance, if I want to reply to this email, I get an email that contains the quoted email, the email that was sent to me, and this line with a date and who wrote it. We can replace this and make it much nicer and much more informative with SmartTemplate 4. And then we write some text, and then we say, yours sincerely, and then our name. Maybe, okay, so this would be the normal way, and that takes a lot of time and it doesn't look particularly great. SmartTemplate 4 automates this, makes this much easier by adding some powerful fields that autofill. I'll show you how. So once SmartTemplate is installed, we have a new icon in the status bar, bottom right corner, the SmartTemplate 4 settings icon, which brings up this dialog. The first step is to uncheck Use Common checkbox. There is a way of storing templates for all our accounts, but I'm going to use the specific settings for each of my mailboxes. I got 3 different tabs, one for writing new emails, one for replying to emails, and one for forwarding emails. For this video I'm just going to concentrate on the reply case. Once I want to use this, I need to highlight the first checkbox, apply the following template to the replied message. Then I have 2 fields, the quote header and the template. The quote header is the portion of text that's shown in front of the actual quoted text from the original email. It's always a good idea to make that stand out a little. What I like to do is put it into a box. So I'm going to create this div tag. This is an HTML tag. And I tell SmartTemplates that I want to use HTML, and I also tell it that I want it to replace the original quote header. I'm gonna check this, and then it won't automatically put in on date person wrote. I'll put in something else instead. So I'm going to put in some information. I put in the from email address, and I put in my first SmartTemplates variable, %from%. This is the variable that's going to be replaced by the name from the email I reply to. So from is taking the perspective of the email that I reply to. From, and I want a new line. And then I want to, and put in the to. That's it. Just click on OK and see what happens. Reply. So now we have from, to. What's missing, we probably want the date as well, and we want the box to have an outline around it. So we want the box having a border. So I'm going to add a style attribute, and I use the border. It's 1 pixel, and it's solid border, and it's a certain color. Let's say it's blue. So it's 0 for red, A for green, E for blue. So that should be a darkish blue. And add a bit of padding and try that out. Okay, so now we got this box which resizes. It may be a bit wide, so I might add some restrictions on the width, but overall I'm happy with this. While we're there, we will set a maximum width of, let's say, 800 pixels and a minimum width of, let's say, 300 pixels. What else can we do? Make it look a little more agreeable by maybe rounding the corners. So border radius 1 here, and a shadow box shadow. Let's put it to the right, 5 pixel, down 5 pixel, grow it by 3 pixel, and give it 80, and 0.4 transparency. Okay, you don't need to know all these, but this will make it look nicer. It's basically a transparent gray. Okay to that. Reply, and we get a nice box here. And I still forgot, you see the max width there? I still forgot the date, so let's put that in. I'm not gonna send this off until it looks really good. So I want the date here, so I could just put in date. Or maybe make them uppercase. And maybe make these bold. Bold. Okay, now if I don't know my variables, then I can look them up. I just click on advanced and I get a list of variables names here, and I need to find the date. So date local or date short. Let's try date local, which is my local date that I have here when I reply. And if I click that, it will insert it in the cursor position. So let's have a look at what that looks like. Reply. Okay, that looks much better, except I forgot a new line before the from. So one more time. Break, line break. Now these spaces really don't matter in HTML, they'll all be broken down. If I wanted these ones having the same width, it won't help to just insert spaces, they'll be just broken down by HTML and all condensed. So I would need to define something with this tag to say that everything that's in here and that's bold has a certain minimum width. I could do this by adding a style rule for it, or I could just do it inline again. Say style equals display like a block, like an inline block. Let's do this. Now that should do it. Okay, that's better, except now my distances are way too big, so we make that a bit smaller, make that 80 pixels. Okay. Ah, that's good. I like that. Next step, the actual reply. So we start with dear from, and instead of just saying %from%, which will give me the full email, I want the name of the recipient, so I can add this in parentheses, name, then comma, a new line, then a paragraph. Now this is where I want to start typing, so I put in %cursor, and another paragraph, yours sincerely, new line. Close that paragraph. Try it out. Okay, so we have now dear Axel Rude, yours sincerely, Thunderbird Daily, and my cursor is here. I can start typing. And pretty much everything else was set automatically by SmartTemplate. Now, what else do we need for a professional email? We probably want signature. Signature is something that comes out of the box with Thunderbird. I'll show you how to set it. Right click on the account, click settings. This signature text, make sure it's HTML. And again, we put in a box. Let's just grab one I prepared earlier. This one. Right, so we have a HTML signature, and we can also control where the signature will be shown. By default, it will be shown below the quote, but that way it will be lost. You won't really see it. So I want it, in my case, above the quote. So I'm replying above the quote. Then there is my signature below my reply, and then there's the quote header, and then there's the email I'm replying to. Click OK. Okay. Reply. Right, so here's my signature. Here's my quote header, and here's the quoted email. And here's my automatically generated email. Now I could probably make that a little bit better. Let's have a look at the signature quickly. Settings. So I want a bit of space afterwards. So I'm gonna go margin, bottom, PM. So that I want 2 letters of space underneath. The same shadow that I had used earlier. GPA, red, green, blue, alpha. Okay, that's good. Right, so this is what we can do on the quick with Smart Templates in order to reply to emails and have as little work with it as possible. Now if I reply to a different email, I just get this, dear YouTube, yours sincerely, and you can see the from, the to, the date, everything neatly laid out. If you need more options for any variable, then you can just click the settings, click on advanced and look them up here. And there's a whole lot of different variations and there's lots of stuff here that you can do. One more thing, some of these variables don't work in the right template, they only work in reply. And the reason for this is that Smart Templates need existing headers. For instance, when you reply to a person, it will need that header in the email, and that's pre-filled when you reply automatically. However, when you write a new email, it won't know who this is to. So certain variables won't work, and these are highlighted in red here. So you can't use them in write, it won't insert them. All the red ones will only work in reply and forward. If I wanted to set up forward, I could just take my templates here and click these 3. And just copy them over. Okay. And now I can use the same one for forwarding. Now that's probably not quite right for forward, so I could slightly change the text. Maybe instead of dear, we could say hi. And then we could say something like original email below. Okay. Now we forward it. And it will say, who do I send this to? XXX, whatever. Okay, the name doesn't work either anymore. I would need a to, so I'd need to take that out. And then this is the mail I got today. Alright, so let's get rid of that. Take out the from as well. I hope you found this useful. Please subscribe to my channel, there'll be more in-depth demonstrations of Smart Template and how to make email easier.